Hello and welcome back to another video. And this is a Mach Speed Trio Stealth 9. And it has an issue. If you turn it on and try booting it up, it goes to here. Does that. So, that's good. Come on. There we go. And then it gets to here. Which, that's supposed to happen. But then it doesn't pass this. And, this is a common issue. Somewhat common issue. Maybe common, I don't know. It's a known issue. Other people on the internet have had similar issues. This all started with me trying to root it. Because here, on the board, see that right there? Right there? See that? Yeah. UART. That is a UART port. And it allows you to, well, access the bootloader, which this runs, boots up with the U-boot. Ignore the antenna, please. I put that there. It's because I accidentally ripped the original antenna. Oh god, the dog's getting up. And allows you to access U-boot and do stuff, and and like in Android it gives you a shell. And so in my process trying to root this, that gets kind of hot. No wonder it has a thermal pad. I use that to access the shell. Well, first off, I figured out how to enter the UART U-boot, and once I was there, I was like, great! It even has a way to talk to the NAND to like dump it. Is this doing anything? No. Kermit, you're making lots of noises. That was worrying. And so like I tried like doing NAND read from the U-boot thing, and it's like tried reading some stuff, and then it just spewed out like tons of read errors, and then I think crashed U-boot, like about like bad blocks on the NAND flash. So I thought, okay, so I thought, I probably mistyped the command or something. So still booted, fine, after I reset it. So, when this thing boots up into Android fully, annoyingly, it dumps you into the shell user through that. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys to hell and beyond. But not the recovery, which apparently... Is this doing anything? No. A lot of these cheap Android tablets... A lot of these cheap Android tablets do not have, like, an easily accessible, recovery thing. Like this, like, an Action semiconductor tablet I have, well, two of them, the, recovery, partition isn't a partition, it's just an image file on the first partition on the NAND flash used for booting. So yeah. Anyway, so boot into recovery, gave me a root shell. Excellent. Not so excellent. Not very commands, not even be able to list things. Not excellent. What is excellent, put an SD card in, and it'll allow you to run binaries from the SD card despite it being FAT32. So, that's excellent. Just so I put BusyBox on there, copied it to the cache partition, and started, poking around. And so, decided, well, now that I'm here, might as well drop the root file, might as well, poke around and, enable root on here. So, when I got to the part where you copy the binaries, like the SU thing and the super user APK, into the system partition. Well, I copied the SU binary. Thought I should actually do the things from the files from the other thing in case it needs the library. So I deleted that, undid everything I did, unmounted it because that's important, and then rebooted, and then yeah, bad things happened. It got stuck on here. So yeah, excellent. So I think, how do I put this? So I was still connected through the shell, through the UART, so I could actually see why it wasn't booting. And what was happening was Android was starting the sub-processes, like the Zygote thing, and the key store thing, and they installed all the processes, but then they'd all exit. And then it would try running them again, which would just exit, and it would just loop this, resulting in that. So I thought, oh fuck, that's excellent. I messed something up. Fuck. So what I did was I went back into recovery. I did the factory reset thing where it wipes the data partition and the media partition, because this thing runs Android 4.1, which for some unknown reason to me, the people at Android thought it would be an excellent idea to have two data partitions, one for media and another for data. Not important. When I did that, through the UART serial console, it just spewed out a ton of NAND read and write errors, and then it stopped progressing on the screen. I thought, oh god, no. That's really when the issues started. So I thought, I should probably dump the NAND flash, all the ROMs and stuff, before I continue. And so, interesting thing is, even in recovery, USB OTG still works. So I plugged in the flash drive, started copying the partitions off of, the tablet for the bootloader, the splash screen, the system partition, data partition isn't really that necessary, but I tried copying it anyway. The recovery partition, everything. And then I entered issues. The issues galore. Constant, reading errors on the NAND flash. So yeah, this thing's fucked. This NAND flash is absolutely cooked. I think what happened was when I mounted that system partition as read-write and started mucking around, this thing started shuffling things around, and because it's been used so many times, because this is a used tablet, I got it for $5 under the pretext that it wouldn't charge. Well, it does. To be fair, it does have a pretty decent battery life on account of these two fairly decently sized cells. So NAND flash does this thing where it's fucking fragile. If you write to it too many times, it dies. Parts of it dies. So what NAND flash controllers do is it wear leveling. It'll spread things out, the data out, so it doesn't have to rewrite stuff so many times, and that dramatically increases the life of NAND flash. The issue is this thing has reached its end of life, and when I went to modify the system partition, it started shuffling around, and it encountered bad blocks, and it wasn't able to proceed. And it basically, I inadvertently royally fucked it. But there might be a silver lining to this, because on the board, there are these two pads called TF_boot. And what I'm pretty sure that does is that when you short that, on boot up, instead of covering the lens with my pinky, it instead of booting to the internal NAND flash, it'll this SoC will instead latch onto the SD card and start booting off of that. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm also going to have to look into what the hell's happening on here and how to properly dump things, or maybe even fix this. I don't have very much hope. And yeah, that's just annoying, because I really like this thing, you know. The screen's, well, it's not good, but it's not bad either. Like, it has decent color accuracy, and, you know, cheap. You know, it's cheap, but, like, it's one of the it's of the cheap Android tablets I've used over the years. This is one of the better ones. This thing's significantly better than a lot of the tablets I've used in the past, despite it being a cheap thing. So it's a damn shame. So yeah, that's why if you have one of these and it doesn't boot, that's a good reason why. And I really wish you could easily just replace these internal flash NAND flashes and had easily accessible firmware flashing firmware downloads, so that you can properly reinstall the things onto like all these obscure devices. Yeah, damn shame, really.